Once, in a small village in Africa, two little girls, Ome and Luma, were left at home and instructed by their parents to stay inside of the house until their parents returned. And the two little girls intended to be obedient, but as the day went on, it got so hot it was unbearable to stay inside. So they went outside to play, and before they knew it, they were running and chasing each other and ran straight into the coolness of the forest. And soon they tumbled to rest beneath the shade of a tall tree and fell asleep singing their favorite lullaby. And as they slept, a lion crept up and grabbed Ome. At the same time, a vulture swooped down and carried Luma and flew in the other direction. The girls were lucky that the animals didn't hurt them. Before the lion could feast on Ome, he was killed by a hunter. He took Ome home and raised her with his family, and when she grew up, she married his son. Luma was not so lucky. The vulture dropped her in the middle of a camp of thieves, and they sold her into slavery. She had a hard life. First, her name was taken away, and then she was sold from one cruel master to another mean mistress to another cruel master, until finally one day a man who seemed kind and friendly bought her to have her help his wife take care of their first child, just a little baby boy. And Luma was so happy, and the mistress was beautiful, but not friendly at all, and very demanding and impatient. And every day she left to go to the market or visit friends, and the baby just cried and cried and cried. Finally, one day, Luma found herself humming the lullaby she had not thought of since she was a child. And to her surprise, the baby stopped crying. So whenever he started to cry, she would sing the lullaby. And one day, one of Ome's neighbors ran into her in the market and said, "I thought you were at home, because when I walked past your house, I heard the lullaby you used to sing as a little girl." The next day, Ome left the house and circled back around. After a while, she heard Luma singing their childhood lullaby. Tears filled her eyes as she ran into the house and said, "Luma, Luma, I'm so sorry. Don't you remember me?" Luma looked up and looked closely at the mistress. Her eyes filled with tears as she gently placed the sleeping baby in his crib. The sisters hugged each other, cried, and tears became laughter. Finally, Ome said, "Luma, you've made me see how selfish and evil I've become. I'll never treat anyone so badly." The two lived happily as neighbors, raising their children and grandchildren.